What's up guys, happy new year. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I put up a proper video, an in-store video. It's we've just got on the back end of Christmas, and I tell you what, it was insane. Obviously we were opening up the third store, which I'm at today, and which I'm going to give you a good look at today. But God, thanks so much for the support, everybody, over Christmas and New Year's. We got absolutely hounded, and you know, I don't even think I had many days. I had like a day or two off over that whole period. It was just absolute madness, was trying to get MYAREE up and running. I practically spent 2 solid weeks here almost by myself, just putting all the things on all the lures and the hooks on the wall, just getting everything ready to open. And you know, the store wasn't exactly perfect, and it's not perfect yet, but you know, there's a hell of a lot of things in this store, and it took a fair while, took a lot of effort, but the store's come up absolutely mint. Like, I'm really impressed with how well this store has kind of come up. And in the next couple of months, as we, you know, just fill it out a bit more, a lot more stock arrives, our signage, which there's another debacle. But once all that stuff kind of gets sorted, then, you know, this store is going to be really mint. But I'm going to give you a bit of a look around this store today and how we've got it set up, and a couple of the things that we've got here. And then I'm just going to run you through a bunch of new product, because we've just got so much new product in over the past couple of months, especially the last month. And I just haven't had a chance to get on here and show you guys, give you guys any updates, you know, store lure reviews or anything. I just haven't had a chance because we've been just so busy. But today I've come in early, and I'm going to give you a look at a bunch of new things. I'm going to give you a look at this shop. So I think what I'll do, I'll go outside, I'll give you a quick tour of the store, and then we'll run through a bunch of new products that have just come in. So let's get started. Okay, I'm doing this bit on the iPhone just because it's a bit easier, but we haven't got our full signage yet. It's still coming. So all of that up the top there will be TackleWest, but we have our window signage. So for anybody that's coming, I know it's been a little bit difficult to see, but it is what it is. So we've got all of our window signage done, and it looks pretty nice, I reckon. It's come up really good, actually. We got the Sack Man, we got Matt, we got Willie, we got Dana, and a couple of others there as well. But welcome. So it's a pretty decent sized store. Like I said, all of our signage isn't complete yet, guys. So we have all signage, if you've been to our other stores, we've got all the signage that will be going all over the walls, all the fish photos. It's not these ones that are actually going to be going up on the walls. I've got other ones coming, but these are the ones we're just using for the time being. But anyway, let's take a bit of a look. So the reel cabinets, these things turned out absolutely epic, I reckon, and they're full of Daiwa reels. So we've got almost the full range of Daiwa reels here, and you know, it's just going to continue to grow, and it's just, I'm really stoked with how that reel cabinet's turned out. It's just, I mean, look at it. It just looks absolutely epic. We've got all the rod holders. I had these custom made. So for everybody asking, they're a custom made rod holder. They come up really nice, and they hold the rods just great. So you can see there's absolutely stacks of rods to choose from. But over the course of the coming months, we're gonna really fill this store out, and this store, I really plan to pack this store full of gear. So what's in it now, what's in the store now currently, is only going to be a fraction of what's actually going to be in the store. So really pumped, really excited to get this one going. And this is our brim section. So we're really going to specialize in brim fishing at this store. This store here, MYAREE, is going to be our brim specialist store. So Matt has come from Beckingham, and he's the brim guru, or so he likes to be called. But he's running this store, and this is really going to be a brim specialist store. So at the moment, it's got stacks of brim lures in it. You know, there's nowhere else in Perth where you'll find this many brim lures, but we're going to have even more brim lures than this again. So, you know, there's every single color of lure in every style. So, you know, full range of colors, and you can see there's absolutely stacks there. We have, I'll just show you that. That's the Vex Buckaboo. There's heaps of those. Then we've got stacks of top water lures. Look at them. Everything you could ever want. It's all right there. All the accessories, blades. We've only been open for 2 weeks and they've already been destroyed. Vibes. They're in the wrong spot, but that's the only place they're gonna go. Pro lure. And then we've got stacks of squid jigs. Look at it. There's just so many different squid jigs to choose from. And then this is the wall of lures. Look at that. I put every single one of those pegs on the wall and it took me forever. I was going to bed at night just dreaming about more lures getting put on the wall, and they're all full. But that was an absolute mission. We've got all the medals. Look at it, just stacks and stacks and stacks of lures. All soft plastics, so we've got a big range of Z-Man, massive range of Nomad. So again, you won't find that much Nomad anywhere in WA, and you won't find that much Vexed either anywhere in WA. Here we've got all the Bait Junkie, full range. Well, actually it's not a full range, but there's a friggin' pretty decent size range there. We've got our game lures coming, so this is all of our Richter lures, but we also have a fair amount of bonds that they just haven't arrived in time, so they are coming. So for all those guys asking, and then we've just got all the terminal tackle. You know, there's hooks, swivels, all that kind of stuff. It's just more terminal tackle kind of stuff. And then we have our storage and our Yeti section, and this has really come up awesome. So I've just used this racket style stuff from Bunnings, and they come up really, really good actually. So we've got all of our tackle bags and storage. That's all there. And then we have all of our Yeti section, and there's still more Yeti coming. So we have all the bigger Tundras and stuff coming, but this is what managed to arrive just before Christmas, and it took me a while setting all those Yeti bottles up because there's stacks and stacks of bottles in there. They take forever to unpack. And then over here we have, you know, like our cray and crab and just all that kind of area. You got the bait freezers and just all of your accessories, you know, like your tackle boxes and all that kind of stuff. And then I guess lastly, we have all the leader line, the mono line, and a hell of a lot of braid. There's all types of braid there. And then we have our specialist brim braid as well. So there's so much stuff in here, guys, but like I said, it looks like there's a lot of stuff in here, but wait till I'm done, because there's going to be a hell of a lot more fishing gear in here by the time I'm done. But let's get stuck into the video, all right? And I'm going to give you a look at a bunch of new products. Now, the first products that we're going to look at in this video today is the all new Infeets. Now, we've been getting absolutely hounded on these things, guys, for when they were getting released, and they did get delayed a little bit, but we now have the full range in stock at all of our stores. And I gotta say, these are some of the nicest light tackle rods that I've seen on the market. And at the rate that they're selling, I think everybody agrees with us. So we've got all 3 models here, and I've just picked out a couple of ones because I just want to show you a little bit of the difference between them. There's actually so many models to choose from, so we'd actually have to make a separate video to run through each particular model, and I think we actually will do that for you guys as well. But let's take a look at the new Infeet S range to start off with. Now, this is the entry level rods, and these come in at $199, and you are not going to find a better value for money brim fishing or light tackle fishing rod on the market. These things absolutely smash every other product at that price point out of the market. They've really, Daiwa's done a top job on these rods, and they've made some of the best light tackle rods going. So as you can see, we've got an updated air sensor reel seat on both of the models. So that another thing as well, just for the guys that don't know, this is both an S model, but the white ones are a slow action blank and the red ones are a fast action blank. So depending on what fishing that you're doing, whether you're fishing with soft plastics, vibes, hard bodies. There's different actions within the range for different styles of fishing. So that's the Infeet S range. You can see they have, like I said, that updated air sensor reel seat, which is really comfortable. That locking nut there scrolls or threads up and down. We've got that little lure keeper on the side. Now, these S series rods actually feature Fuji Faz-Lite guides, so they're still all Fuji componentry, but once you get up to the tip, they all go to the micro guide, so really good for casting. And being such a small guide, your knot does have to be good, but being such a small guide, it allows the rod to be a little bit crisper. So that's the Infeet S range. They've been a very popular one. And the next one, which has probably been the most popular, I'd say, out of the three, is the Infeet Z range. Now these come in at about, what are they, $379. So they're kind of a mid-range price rod. They actually feature this cigar grip. Okay, so a bit of an update from the previous models, and I actually really like it because it's super comfortable in the hand, and it actually has this little sculpture out of the top of the foregrip. So when you're fishing, and especially when you're using like a hard body or using a vibe, you can really just place your thumb in there. You'll get a lot of feeling of the lure through that little section there where you place your thumb. You actually do get a fair amount of feeling through it, and it's just a really comfortable grip. I think they've done a really nice job with it. It does again feature the air sensor reel seat, and that one there locks in from the base again. And I mean, that thing there matched with the Daiwa Revelry, I mean, you can't really go wrong. But when we go up to the Z series of rods, they feature titanium guides. So these tip guides here, okay, are all titanium guides. So what that does, they're a titanium silicon, but what that does is it makes the rod a lot crisper. So if you felt the Faz-Lite guides and then went and picked up the Z, and you felt how the difference between the two rods, you'd feel how crisp the rod becomes with the titanium guides, and that's purely just because the guides are a lot, they're physically a lot lighter. So that's a bit of a difference. And the other thing as well, the graphite has actually gone up a level as well with the Z. So this 23 series of rods, the Zs are they're a better quality graphite than the previous model of Z. So you're pretty much getting a better rod for the price with this new current range of Infeet. And one other thing I'm going to show you as well, there's a couple of different options. There's one piece, there's two piece, but some of the two piece join in the butt section, and some of them, depending on the model, will actually join in the mid section. So that's just a bit of a something to know about. One other thing, there's something else again, right? See the rods, they're not meant to, we get a lot of people asking about this, is the rod meant to completely butt up? And no, it's not. There's always supposed to be that little bit of a, I guess, a gap between the sections. So that, just in case you're wondering. Now, when we go up to the EX series, this is by far, this is their top of the range Infeet series. I've actually done a bit of fishing when we went down south. I had I guess a pre-release model, and I was fishing with one of these. Very nice to fish with. They've got the new upgraded, I guess, reel seat and grips again, so a bit different to the previous Infeet range. Again, we've got that really high quality reel seat, and these things are super comfortable. That's the one thing that I noticed when I was fishing with this reel seat, is just how comfortable and how well it fits in your hand. I was fishing with a 2000 size Revelry, and really just a pleasure to fish with. You got your nice little rear facing butt, and that's actually on an angle as well. Found it really hard to, didn't find it hard, found it really easy to cast with, and just apply a little bit more whip into my cast. Now these, again, that's the butt join on this particular one that we're looking at. nice and easy for travel. We've got our little hook keeper on the side. But the biggest thing when you go up to the Infeet EX range is they've stepped it up again in the quality of the blank. So we have the best blank available in an Infeet range. So this is their top of the line blank, and you notice it when you're fishing with it. It's superb to fish with. We've got titanium guides again, but when we get to the tip guides, we actually changed to AGS. Now AGS, they're a carbon guide, and these are the ultimate, okay? Because you can feel everything. They're lighter than anything else on the market. You absolutely feel everything that goes through these guides, and you'd be surprised. If you fish with just a standard guided rod and then you go to an AGS guided rod, you'll immediately know the difference. But anyway guys, that's the Infeet range. I'm not going to bore you too much on them. We'll actually do a separate video on each independent model, but the full range is now in stock. We've got them at all of our stores, or you can order them online at tacklewest.com.au. But I reckon it's time to have a look at some lures. So we'll just spin around here. Next up, really cool little lure I'm about to show you, and it's from Imakatsu. We've just got these things in and really do like the look of these. There's only 5 colors in them, but they're a 60 mil jerk bait, and this thing is a suspending lure. Oh, there we go, we got some focus. This is a suspending lure, so you can really rip it down, jerk it just below the surface, and down to about a meter, and just let it suspend, okay? But these things just look absolutely unreal. They've got a nice little bib section on there. It actually comes pre-rigged with a clip as well, so you can either use that clip, or some guys like to use a loop knot. But the finish on these is really outstanding. You can tell, like, it's just a really top quality finish. But that one there is quite a nice color. Ghost, be really good for the flats. Got this real nice AU type color. So this thing here would be great on a sunny day where you'll really get a lot of reflection. So that thing there is going to put off a hell of a lot of reflection, as you can see when you're ripping that over the edge of a drop off. We've got more of a, I guess what you call more of a white kind of standard bait fish pattern. I really do like the orange underneath the chin. That's what I find with any brim type of lure or estuary type of lure. I always like lures that have orange or red underneath the belly, because it just really makes the lure stand out in the water. But it kind of looks like a little bony herring, that one. It's a real nice finish. And this one here has definitely been the most popular, and for some reason everybody always loves red brim lures or orange brim lures, but that thing there is absolutely outstanding. I mean, check that out if we can get some proper focus. But that thing there looks absolutely awesome, and I really like, I don't know how well you can tell, but there's kind of like a red eye there, and that thing, it's just going to stand out like buggery in the water. That's going to get demolished. And then we just have another real standard kind of bait fish pattern, but that there, it's just a nice natural lure that's just going to get smashed. And you can use these, they're not just for brim either, guys. These things are also good for flatties. And the good thing about them is they actually weigh 4.6 grams. So this thing here, if you're casting that around, especially on one of those Infeets, you'll cast that thing an absolute mile. Because of the angle of the bib as well, really easy to get down. You can see the bib, it's quite an angle on that bib there, so very easy to get it straight down into the water and down to the water, well, that part of the water column that you want to be fishing. But that's an Imakatsu Rip Riser. There's 5 colors available. They aren't cheap, but they are a really top quality Japanese lure that's worth checking out. Next up, we're going to look at a top water lure that's dynamite for brim, really popular, and that's the OSP Bent Minnow. Now, we've just had a restock of these, but we've also just got them in a bunch of new colors as well that we've never had before. And I think some of these colors are actually new colors, so check this one out. The most popular one, obviously, if you know about bent minnows, is the clown. That thing is the most popular. Every time we get it in, it sells out. But doesn't necessarily mean it's better than some of the other colors, right? So it's just a very popular lure and everybody seems to gravitate towards it. But you know, you pick up some of these other colors and they'll work just as good. But check this one out. It's kind of similar to the clown color. Nice pink back. We've got a nice yellowy kind of tinge in the middle of the body, and then we've got a white belly, and that thing there looks pretty cool. It's pretty similar to that clown. Stands out. It's not actually, like, for me, I don't really like that clown kind of pattern or a real super bright pattern like this for brim. I would prefer more of like a natural pattern or a clearer type color, but hey, that's what's popular and that works. But there's actually a fair amount of new colors that we have received in this OSP Bent Minnows, but I'm just picked out because there's so many there to choose from, I'm just picking out the ones that I think are pretty kind of cool. So check this one out. This one here, this is what I'd be throwing if I was using topwater for brim. A nice clear pattern. That one there, I'm gonna try and find the name for you. What's it called? It's called Ghost Shrimp. That thing looks absolutely epic, and that's what I'd be using if I was going to be targeting brim. So we have a kind of a clear translucent body. It looks like there's like a little bit of flash inside the body there as well, so you'll get a bit of reflection. Nice. I do like that little pink dot on the side of the head with the black eye. That's really going to stand out. And then moving on from that one, this is another really nice pattern. I love this type of pattern in just a diving lure. It always seems to work really well for me. We've got the nice little yellow fins on the side, and the color of this one is called, it doesn't even give us a name, but it's called GHF92. So there's no actual color name, just a color code. But we have a brown back, and you can see the detail in this. You can see it almost looks like there's little scales on the back. So they've gone to immense detail to get that kind of coloring on the lure. Nice white bottom, kind of like a pearly side, pearly blue, purple hue on the side. But that's a real ripper of a color. I think brim would absolutely annihilate that one. And then lastly, we've got this kind of AU type of color. Now, this is really cool because it features that real bright yellow spot on it, but it's only on one side of the lure. So that's on the bend. Okay, so as that goes through and dives underneath the water and turns, the fish are gonna get like a flash. So you could imagine how much that's gonna stand out. Nice bit of reflection on the belly, semi-pearl, translucent kind of color. But that's a couple of the new colors that we've just had in Bent Minnows arrive. There's actually stacks of Bent Minnows. It's probably like 15 different colors there to choose from now. So there's so many there to just come in and have a look at them and have a look at some of the cool colors, because there's so many there to choose from. Another thing as well, guys, we actually carry 2 specific hooks for the Bent Minnow. So that hook there, because the Bent Minnow is a very delicate lure. It has to be fished with the right terminal on the lure to get the right action out of it. And if you put a treble on it that's too heavy, the lure won't swim properly. So we actually have the standard OSP hooks that come on the lure. So you can purchase them. They're a Bent Minnow replacement treble. And we also have another one, a Daiichi hook. Now, this is, I guess, a slight upgrade from the standard hook, but it is a premium quality, Japanese made, ultra lightweight treble, and it's perfect for replacing on your Bent Minnows. So there's 2 options there that we have in stock, and the only reason we carry these trebles is specifically to go on the OSP Bent Minnow. Next up, we've got a little bit of an update in colors on OSP Dunks. Now, these things are really good for guys that are going down to areas like the Blackwood, anywhere that's deep and you really need to get your hard body down to a decent depth. So the Dunk has just had an update with a couple of new colors that have come out, and just some really nice natural kind of patterns. So that one there, as you can see, just a really nice chrome natural baitfish type of pattern. It's actually got a stack of detail in it, so if you look closely, in the flesh, you'll see it's absolutely packed. It really does look like a little bait fish. So that's a new one there. We've got a nice pearly lime type of color with a brown head. It's got a browny tinge to the back of it. That's not a bad one. We've got a real kind of, I'd say this is kind of like a mullet or a dark AU color. It's got a white silvery bottom, but then you've got that nice silver kind of flash on the side with the brown kind of back to it. I really do like the gold on the gill of the lure though. That's quite a nice pattern. And this one's going to be the most popular by far. The gold, a red gold. I always love this type of pattern. It does have a white belly though, so it's going to stand out a fair amount in the water. But that gold, red, and that kind of brown, black back, you really can't go wrong. But the best thing about the Dunk is they really do dive deep. So they're also a suspending lure. So once you get it down to depth, you can pause and the lure's just going to slowly suspend. But they're a real winner, the OSP Dunk. They've been around for a year, been around for a few years and won a number of tournaments, and they're just a top class lure. So check those out, the OSP Dunk. All right, next up we're going to look at another lure that we've just had, pretty much just increased the holding of these. So we've got every single color of these in stock now, and they're available in two different types. So there's a floating and there's a sinking model. So this here is called a Pro Lure. It's a pencil. It's called a SF62 pencil. So like I said, available in a floating and a sinking, but they're a really cool small top water lure. They're great for brim. You'll get giant herring, tailor. You can use these on a number of different species and in a number of different ways. So there's absolutely stacks and stacks of colors of these, but I've just picked out 5 of the real nice ones to give you a bit of a look. So this one here is their smelt color. It's a relatively new one, and it's got a real nice chrome flash on the side, but then a translucent body at the back. And in the sun, that thing gets a lot of reflection. This is one of their newer colors that they've just released only in the past couple of months, and really do like that one. They all come fitted with decoy YS trebles, so they're a very affordable lure and come with really good quality terminal straight out of the box, which is a great thing with this Pro Lure. Really love that color as well. That's, I believe they call, I don't know all the color names off the top of my head, but that one there is the Ultra Minnow, and that's a really nice looking color. Look at that blue eye that you have there. You can just imagine that thing walking along some sand flats. It's going to get absolutely annihilated. This one here, we've got like a kind of like a tiger prawn pattern. This one here is called Motor Oil Shrimp. Translucent color again, but you've got those nice prawn patterns on the side. Real nice color. Got another prawn color here as well. This one they call it Mangrove Shrimp, and a bit of a darker pattern. We've got that kind of orangey, semi-orange belly on it. Again, nice clear sides with that prawn shell on the side of that. Real nice pattern. And then this one here is going to be really good for whiting on the sand flats. It's going to stand out a lot. They call this one Candy Shrimp, and I can see why, because it's just so bright. But that there, it's got a nice pink hue to the bottom of the belly, and those white prawn lines on the side really going to stand out. And I like the black eye on that. Really kind of stands out. But with these, you can either walk the dog with them with the floating model, or with the sinking model, you can let it sink and you just twitch it. It will shimmy on the drop, and just have a pause, twitch, and that there is going to get absolutely annihilated. Had a lot of reports of guys getting giant herring on these in the river, and very effective, cost-effective lure. So check those out. That's the Pro Lure SF62 pencil. So the next expansion in fishing style or fishing technique that we're actually going to expand into now, kind of still on that light tackle side, but it's micro jigs. We've dabbled in them a bit lately, and every time we get them in, they sell really fast. You can use them for a bunch of different types of fishing. They're really good, especially in like windy conditions, because the lure is still small, but it's heavy, so you can fish it in a lot more conditions, okay? And every single time we seem to get micro jigs in, they just walk out the door. So that's kind of our next expansion in light tackle fishing. So over the coming months, guys, just keep an eye out in store or on the website, because that's the next thing that's really going to explode in our category. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is an Evergreen Cham Jig. Now these are available in a 5 and a 7 grams, and it's just a little micro jig, okay, but really nice finish to it. It's got quite a nice shape, so it's going to cast really well, and it's going to have a really nice flutter on the drop. Now these things actually come pre-rigged with a treble, so you can either use it with the treble, but a lot of guys will go and actually take the treble off and put an assist hook on them. Available in quite a, there's 6 different colors here, so some quite nice colors. We've got I'm not going to pull them all out because they were an absolute pain to get them out of the packaging, but we have a nice gold, got a nice pearl white, there's an all silver kind of pattern there, I would call that like a ghost silver, real nice speckly silver there. That's actually really nice, that color. And then a speckled blue. So check them out. Available in 5 gram and 7 gram. That's the Evergreen Cham Jig. Right, next in the micro jig space, we have these new ones from Palms. Now these things are really cool because they come pre-rigged with a twin assist on the top, and then they have a single assist on the bottom, and the assists are actually quite good. You don't need to upgrade these. You can use them straight out of the box. These would be good for little snapper, little sambos. You'll also get flathead and those kind of species on them because they're actually quite strong. Big Skippy would absolutely nail these. But the cool thing about these is they're flat-sided on one side, so you can see it's completely flat. And then they've got a normal body on the other side with a couple of little indents in them. So when you flick it, it's actually going to really give you a good flutter on the drop. The finish on these is pretty nice as well. A lot of reflection. And they're just a really cool little micro jig. So these are available we've got them in a 10, 15 and a 20 gram, so slightly heavier. And you'll get a really good cast with those, really easy to work. They've got some cool colors. So we've got a nice zebra glow. So those glow stripes there, they will really stand out and glow. Good for using at night, late afternoon or early in the morning. This one here is really cool as well. It's like an oily black. So in the sun, you'll get a fair amount of reflection out of that, but it's quite a nice contrast on that. So that's a real nice one. And then we've got a couple other cool little colors. We've got the gold. You kind of got like another type of gold. It's like a brownie gold. And then a bait fish pattern, which is pretty nice as well. They're a new one from Palms, and they're called a Lake Shore Slow. 10, 15 and 20 grammers. Okay guys, so another product that we've just managed to get our hands on them. I've been trying to get a hold of these for a fair while. They're actually a little bit difficult to get our hands on, and bloody expensive to get our hands on as well, just due to the size of them and the freight. But check these out. So these are the ultimate travel tube for your airline travel with your rods, or even going up north. Just if you want to protect your gear, it doesn't get any better than a sports tube though. So these things, they're really ultra heavy duty. They actually extend out as well. So they extend out and have wheels. So if you're at an airport or wherever you are, you can actually wheel the tube. But I've used these a couple of years ago, or a fair while ago actually, and definitely by far the strongest rod tube that I've ever traveled with. So they come in 3 different sizes. So that one that I showed you is the Series 1. That's probably going to be the most popular size for guys traveling, and you'll fit, depending on how you pack them, you could fit up to about 8 rods in that. Then they do Series 2. So Series 2, it's the same kind of design, but it's just a lot wider. This one, you will fit a stack of rods. Like, you'd easily fit 10 rods in this if you packed it properly. They are a pretty serious rod tube, and you can use it for other things as well. These are good for like spear guns and anything else that you want to travel with that's nice and long. But this thing here, it's probably pretty hectic, this one. You'll fit about 20 rods in this, but this is the Series 3. Now, this thing is a solid travel tube. It's $479, so it's not cheap, but it is pretty serious, and whatever you pack in here is going to actually be totally secure. You could probably even pack this rod case with rods that still have the reels attached to them, because it is so bloody big. But they've just come into stock, guys, and they're all made in America, made in the USA. They're top quality rod tubes. It really doesn't get much better than these. They come with a little a toe strap on them as well. But if you're looking for the best protection for your rods when you travel, then check these out. These are Sportube. We have them available. They will be at all our stores, but due to the freighting issue, we probably can't really post these just because the freight will be too much. So you'll have to come in store to grab one of these for yourself. But check them out, guys. That's the Sportubes. Okay guys, that's pretty much going to wrap the video up for this week. I'll link all of those products in the description below, and you can check them out, and you can order them online or pop in store and check them all out. But thanks again for all the support, and if I don't see you in store, I'll see you out on the water. Cheers.